Irish Joe Duffy, thanks a million for joining us on Close Calls. You're over in Montreal. What's the weather like? How are things?
Yeah, it's hard to beat. Nice and warm out here today. It was a bit stormy yesterday, but any sunshine, I'll make the most of it.
Are you looking forward to Saturday? How do you perceive it as a UFC fighter who has also fought as a professional boxer? You have a 7-0 record, which you kind of stepped away from in 2013, and you've also beaten Conor McGregor in the octagon. So you're in a fairly unique position going into this one.
I'm really looking forward to it. I think more than anything, everyone's kind of looking forward to seeing how it's going to play out. The difference in styles. The amount of time Conor's had to train and how well he's going to do crossing over. So I'm really excited for the weekend.
Talk to me about the power aspect of it, Joe. I suppose a lot of MMA fans in particular are looking at this and they're thinking, if Conor can land that nuclear left hand, the timing of his shot, generally speaking, is extremely effective. He said that in the past himself. But I suppose a lot of people are saying if he lands on Mayweather's chin, Mayweather will go over. Maybe we're looking at an early knockout. Boxing fans are laughing at this, thinking just because he can hit hard in the octagon doesn't mean it's going to translate necessarily to boxing, where he's going to be wearing 8-ounce gloves. In your experience from both sports, Joe, how did you find that your own power translated across from the ring to the octagon?
I found from sparring the boxers, I definitely feel they hit harder. So I wouldn't necessarily say that, if he lands a left hand, there's going to be a game over. The same way with the small gloves, I definitely think it has a bigger impact. Plus, the boxers are a little bit more conditioned to the shots. They go into a fight expecting to take at least one or two shots. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's going to tip him over if he cracks him, but I'm still going to tune in. I'm interested to see.
You've obviously experienced some of Conor's power. I mean, even when you did submit him, you were taking a bit of heat at the edge of the cage. And look, there's no doubt. I think the man hits hard. It's as to whether or not he can hit harder than, say, Marcus Maidana, Canelo, or even going back to De La Hoya, Shane Mosley, who rocked Mayweather in the second round with an overhand right. What is his power like? Do you think that it's kind of respectable relative to some of those fighters and more that have stepped in with Mayweather and really not landed anything significant?
I don't know. When I fought Conor, I didn't get caught with nothing clean, really. I thought his timing was good, but I didn't really feel no crazy power. I've boxed some people, and as soon as they hit you, they could hit you on the arm, and it feels like it shakes you across the ring. It definitely didn't feel like that. I think it was more, like you said, timing and precision that he had well. Obviously, Mayweather's been in with the likes of Canelo. I definitely don't think Conor's going to hit as hard as Canelo, but I think he's got a bit more finesse about him. He might be able to sneak that left in, and obviously, Pac-Man caught Floyd with it, and Floyd just relaxed on the ropes and kept his cool. So it's definitely going to be an opportunity to land it, but how Floyd reacts is another story.
What were the biggest adjustments for you, Joe, when you did, I suppose, embark upon a short boxing career as it transpired? But I suppose in terms of the distance you're fighting at, shot selection, shot technique, what were the biggest learning curves for you? And I suppose, just the biggest differences between being a practitioner of MMA and a boxer?
Shot selection was the main one, I thought. In MMA, we got a habit of, people will throw and someone will try and counter immediately, that sort of way. With a boxer, some of them guys you'll spar, they'll march you down, they'll take you to the ropes where they know you can't move, and then they'll work. And when they throw the shots, they're not putting power in every shot. They'll touch, play, and then when they see an opening, then they'll put the power shots in. Obviously, over 12 rounds, you need to be efficient with your technique and with your power shots. It's like trying to sprint. If you try and sprint a marathon, you're never going to do it. And it's the same thing with the power. You got to be a bit more sensible about where you put in the power shots. So I would say over 12 rounds, I would say that was the main difference, being being a bit more selective with your shots and picking the right target, because obviously there's a smaller target than there is in MMA.
Yeah, big time. Do you reckon stamina from McGregor's perspective might become an issue, given that it is 12 rounds? Now, the counter argument to that is obviously MMA can be a more strenuous sport in kind of concentrated spurts. You've more things to be looking out for. You might spend time in the ground, which is going to sap energy from you. But as you're mentioning there, the importance of pacing yourself in boxing, and also I think the kind of concentration as to what you're looking out for from your opponent can in itself be draining in a different type of way. How do you think McGregor will fare over 12 rounds if it does go that long?
I think the concentration could definitely be something that might be difficult for Conor, just because he hasn't experienced it. Going from never competing in a pro boxing match to a 12 rounder, I think it'll be difficult for him to keep that concentration. I don't know about the pace. I think the pace might be fine. Like, Conor's a counter puncher mostly. Like, he'll pressure, but he's counter. And Floyd's very similar. He'll prod away with the jab, but a lot of the time he's a counter puncher. So the pace might not be that crazy. More of a case is just keeping his concentration for the full 12, and obviously fighting Floyd, he struggled with pressure fighters. So if that's Conor's game plan, can he keep it up for 12 rounds? That's something we're all looking forward to watching.
Yeah, big time. Joe, before we let you go, how do you reckon it's going to go on Saturday night?
I think Conor's got his work cut out. As much as I'm hoping he's going to win, and it'll be a big win for the country overall. I think Floyd's experience is going to take his toll over the rounds, and I think he might get the stoppage in the later rounds.
Interesting.